Well, hello, and may the fourth be with you. Um, if you're a Star Wars fan, you know what that's all about. If you've been watching television or listening to the radio, it's inescapable. Today is the 4th of May, 2019. It's Journal 38. Hard for me to believe also, and it is T+32, 32 days since the transplant. Um, it's funny the way that you start to judge things as you move through this entire process. It's peculiar. A lot of it has to do uh, with how your body's doing and what it's telling you. And believe me, it's always talking to you. Um, and and part of it's just the way you feel. And I can tell by the time I'm ready to get out of bed in the morning um, where my numbers are. I'm not sure I need the blood test in the lab work to tell me. Um, I needed to tell the doctor precisely, but I can tell you when it's dropped. I can tell you if I'm shaky and I'm cold and I don't feel quite right. The numbers um, have probably dropped, and by that I mean when I say cold, I mean cold for anybody. Uh, Cold for me. Anybody else generally would think that the temperature in the room was quite normal. Um, and that's usually going to be hemoglobin, platelets, white blood count, uh, and a bunch of other names that I probably need to read in order to pronounce properly. Um, and today was one of those days. I mean, today was an unusual day. One, because we got to sleep in. Uh, we didn't have an early morning appointment, but we did have an appointment for labs and for the nurse to look at the numbers. The concern there was, and for me to get my PICC line uh, cleaned, flushed properly, as long as we were there. Um, and it, it it was the fourth time this week I've been at the hospital in a week that normally would take um, two visits for lab work and to see the doc. And Saturdays are strange at the City of Hope. I mean, during the week, um, the place is crazy busy. I mean, where we go for the lab work and whatnot, the Browerman facility is packed with people. The phlebotomy lab is going nuts. It's a constant stream of people going in to have blood drawn. I go to the VAD lab. I think they named it the VAD lab because it's for VAD the Impaler, because they take so much blood most of the time. But but I'm sure that's not what the real name is or what it's for. And the City of Hope generally runs like a well-oiled machine. It runs with military precision, um, and that's during the week. Saturdays, not so much. And depending on what's going on, if they're overwhelmed, if there are a lot of people there, you just have to go ahead and force yourself to wait. Some people do that better than other people do that. I'm not usually a terribly patient human being. Leslie will confirm that. That's changed to a large degree, and I don't think it's changed because of the donor. I think that this has taught me a number of lessons that have helped me um, control my frustration when things aren't going right. It's much easier to put things in perspective when you're going through what I'm going through, or what people who are going through what I'm going through are going through. You just tend to be more understanding and recognizing that these are the people that are helping you. It's the same reason you don't really want to piss the bartender off, because you'll never know what he's going to do to your drink. So, um, especially when you're going to a phlebotomy lab and they're going to put a needle in your arm. I mean, I've already got my faucet here, so they can go in and do whatever they need to do more easily. So we waited patiently until I realized that the second appointment, the one I had with the nurse, was going to be um, impacted in a really negative way by the fact that the first appointment, the appointment to get the blood drawn and the lab work done, was going to be late. Um, it's still much faster than it used to be, and it's still um, it's machine driven, so it's very fast. In any case, they got me in. I got my blood work done. I had my vitals taken. Um, all of them were normal, which is good. And then we found out what we needed to find out, really, and that the reason that we had the Saturday lab appointment and appointment with the nurse was because the doctor was concerned that if my numbers dropped below a certain point, I'd need to be transfused. That's probably still the case because the numbers are low enough and close enough so that they could drop at any time. But I go back on Monday, so we'll know on Monday what's going to happen then. But this time there was no need for transfusions of either whole blood or platelets. In under normal circumstances, I would be thrilled, but realistically, I was kind of disappointed in the respect that when you get those transfusions done, you usually feel a pretty good jolt, um, and your hemoglobin and your white blood count and your platelets go way up, and you feel almost normal, or at least what you remember almost normal felt like. Um, it's not the same thing as normal. And I'll tell you the truth, I'm not sure that I remember what normal felt like. Normal felt like 2.5 miles on the treadmill yesterday. That felt good. You know, you get the endorphins going. Um, and then my watch and the software involved in the watch, I've got a Garmin, said that was a great workout, but lay off for the next couple of days, which I didn't really want to hear either. But it's all part of this journey, and it's all part of watching. I'm not even sure watching is the right word. I think maybe um, feeling your body working towards all the right levels, uh, towards some kind of normal, so that you can get back to the business of living. There were a couple of people that were waiting in the waiting room that didn't handle the waiting so well, and kind of in a quiet way took it out on the very people that were there to help them. I don't get that. I mean, there was a time that I got it. I mean, I'm the guy who lost it last night on a support call to a major data carrier, you know, television, streaming video, whatever. And I went nuts because the support people were so poorly trained that they had no clue what to do or how to do it, and that made me angry. Uh, and I don't know whether a lot of that anger that came out was channeled. A lot of the anger was the result of, you know, residual anger that's hiding somewhere in my body or my mind. I hope that wasn't the case, but if it was, I guess I should apologize. But I can't apologize for the fact that these people didn't have a clue what to do or how to get it done, and that included supervisors. So, in any case, today's been okay. Uh, I took a nap, not necessarily because I wanted to take a nap. Naps are a good thing, by the way. If you haven't tried them, you ought to. I take a nap when my body tells me that it's it's had all of the functioning it cares to do. It needs to, either my body or my mind needs to check out for a while. So all things considered equal, it's been a good day. And it is, of course, Star Wars 4th. So I will leave you with an admonition to have the Force be with you, and stay well and take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Um, and we'll get together again tomorrow. Thank you.